Welcome to Compound Sentences, where simple sentences make out. In order for compound sentences to make sense, we need to make sure we have a firm grasp on simple sentences. So we're going to do a quick review. Simple sentences, as we remember, have a subject, which is what the sentence is about. They have a verb, which is what that subject is doing or being. And we have optionally an object, whatever completes the verb. So, subject, verb, object. Sam kicks the ball. Sam is a noun, is your subject. The action Sam is doing is kicking, that is your verb. What is being kicked? The ball, that is your object. And of course, simple sentences must be a complete thought. All sentences, for that matter, must be a complete thought. So, looking at our sentence pattern, we have subject plus verb plus object equals your simple sentence. And of course, we remember that simple sentences can have compound subjects, they can have compound verbs of any number of subject or verb. So those are compound subjects and compound verbs within a simple sentence. Now we're going to look at compound sentences. So, just like with people, sometimes two simple sentences, they have a lot in common, and they want to spend all of their time together. Let's take a look at these two sentences, for instance. They approach each other from opposite sides of the room. They see each other, and the light hits their punctuation in just the right way. And one says to the other, "Hi there." And the other responds, "Hi yourself. I see you are all about the blue." "I am all about the blue. Maybe we should hang. Maybe we should. Winky face." But wait! Don't sell yourself cheap. What do we need for these two sentences to become a compound sentence? We need two simple sentences. We need a relationship. And we'll get more into the relationship later. These two simple sentences, their relationship is, "I'm all about the blue. Me too." So we need two simple sentences for a compound sentence. We need some sort of relationship, which we'll talk more about in a second. And we need some sort of connection, something between these two sentences to hold them together, to bring them together. What are these connections? We're going to talk about one of them today, the comma and coordinating conjunction. This is one of the most common patterns. The comma separates things to make them easier to read and understand. And then the conjunction tells us what the relationship is going to be between these simple sentences. And these 7 conjunctions are the only conjunctions that you can use for this pattern. Make sure you know these, make sure you write these down. You may have learned these as the fanboys conjunction, because if you arrange them as for and nor, but, or, yet, so, the beginning letter of each conjunction spells out fanboys, and that's a good way to remember them. So putting two simple sentences together that have a relationship looks a lot like this. You have your two simple sentences. "I like blue the most. It is my favorite color." You bring them together, and you slap a comma and conjunction right in the middle. "I like blue the most," comma conjunction, "so it is my favorite color." And these two simple sentences will live together forever in happiness. Notice, both sides of the conjunction are what? Simple sentences. Here's that pattern again. "I like blue the most, so it is my favorite color." There are our subjects, I and it. Here are our verbs, like and is. And then what are the objects? Blue and color. So knowing that, seeing that these both sides, both this simple sentence and this simple sentence, can stand on their own, makes this work and this pattern. Another quick example. Satrapi wrote Persepolis. Simple sentence, can stand on its own. We are reading that book in class. another simple sentence, could stand on its own. But they belong together. So Satrapi wrote Persepolis. We are reading that book in class. We put a comma and conjunction in there. Happiness ensues. So, the pattern for the compound sentence with comma and conjunction is simple sentence, comma, conjunction, simple sentence. This is the pattern you need to know. This is the pattern to write down. The last thing you need to remember about compound sentences, we talked about this, they have to have a relationship in addition to having that comma conjunction. You don't want to jam two sentences together that don't have a relationship, that don't have a clear understanding of each other, because they will end up separated, divorced, and the kids will suffer. And that's not what we want. This is a good compound sentence. I like blue the most, so it is my favorite color. Both of these simple sentences are about how much I like the color blue. They have an obvious relationship. However, I like blue a lot, and that cat is on fire. There is no connection. There is between me liking blue and that cat being ablaze. So there's no reason to put them together. So, in talking about the relationship, the specific conjunction that you choose, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, all have different types of relationships. And we're going to go over those different types right now, something you should know. And is when the second sentence and the first sentence, they express the same type of idea. For example, I like to ride my bicycle, and Lester likes to ride as well. Both are the same idea, both things that we like. In this instance, we both like riding bicycles. But the second sentence is equal but opposite. So it's something different but of the same weight. I like to ride my bicycle, but Lester prefers ponies. Similar ideas, but riding bicycles and riding ponies are in opposition. So there's a difference, so we're going to use but. So is when the second contains an outcome or a result. This happened, so this happened next. For example, I walked my pony to the pond, so the burglar was able to steal my unicorn. Stupid burglar. A way to look at so is if you had because at the beginning of the sentence. That would replace the so. For example, I could say, because I walked my pony to the pond, the burglar was able to steal my unicorn. So because and so kind of have some connections in that regard. The other relationships, or. The second sentence represents an equal choice. I could lop off that giraffe's head, or I could shave that monkey's butt. Both of those are equal in terms of terrible things I would have to do. Clearly, though, I would choose lopping off that giraffe's head. More specifically, this giraffe. Nor. The second sentence means also not. For example, this one's a little tricky without seeing an example. They were not wearing jackets, nor were they carrying umbrellas. If these were two separate sentences, we could read them as they were not wearing jackets, period. They also were not carrying umbrellas. So that's how nor works. For is essentially the same thing as because. It's not used as often anymore, but it still is legitimate. Batman is a hero, for he is successful in catching the criminals in his city. Batman is a hero because he is successful in catching criminals in the city. If you were to use because instead of for, you would not use a comma. And then lastly, yet is the same thing as but, and this has fallen out of proper practice. Sounds a little bit more dignified, however. I asked for hours and hours, yet Roxanne still wouldn't go to homecoming with me. Maybe if I keep trying, or maybe if, like the giraffe tells me, I donate blood, she will go to homecoming with me. A quick summary. What have we looked at? When two simple sentences have a relationship, I love blue. Me too. And a connection, comma and conjunction in this instance, they can be together forever as a compound sentence. And aren't we all just happy now? Let's do a quick knowledge check. We're going to determine whether these are simple sentences, compound sentences, or neither, i.e. there's some sort of fragment. I am at home in Iran, for it is where my heart is. This one is a compound sentence. What about number 2? Iran has among the most bloody histories in the Middle East. This one is a simple sentence. Number 3, I want to go to Iran and I want to see the cities. This one's a little bit tricky. This one is technically neither, because it is missing a comma. If you said compound sentence, you were close, but there's no comma after Iran. Therefore, it's grammatically incorrect. Number 4, the Shah and the Ayatollah fought against each other. Is this a simple sentence, compound sentence, or neither? This one is a simple sentence with a compound subject. And lastly, writing about the past. This one is neither. This is a sentence fragment. Alright, last thing for you to work on, a little practice in your journal. Up here, I want you to write 6 sample compound sentences, one using each of the different conjunctions, except for and. If for bonus, if you want to write 7 sentences and throw and in there, that sounds quite all right to me. Thanks for listening. See you next time.